My name is Christopher Scott. 1987, I was convicted of capital murder. I did 13 years. The crime was a robbery that pretty much went bad, and they actually killed the guy who they was trying to rob. Basically, like 4 hours later, I drove right into a crime scene where they were still looking for the actual individuals, the perpetrators that committed the crime. And I guess we was the first two African American people they saw, and hey, chose us too. They actually brought everybody that was laying on the ground with me there that night, but actually put them on a whole total opposite side of the room, so I would be the only one that the victim's wife saw. Walked the lady up to me, the cop did, and pointed at me and said, "This is the man that killed your husband." She agreed and said, "Yes, that's him." She was Hispanic, and when you have people of different races trying to identify of another race, things always go bad. And that's one of the main reasons why wrongful convictions happen. I'm 25 at the time, and I've never been in this type of trouble before. Now I'm scared. Now I don't want to say anything that's gonna hurt my chances when I go to court. So I'm asking him, is it any way possible that we can get this throughout because I didn't commit this crime? He was like, "No, sir, you're going to trial." I requested a change of lawyer. I requested it because I felt like he wasn't doing a thorough job in my behalf. I wrote to the judge and told him that I wanted to change lawyers. Said they wasn't going to change the lawyer for me. I never felt like I wasn't going to get found not guilty. I went in the courtroom knowing that I was going to get found guilty because it was just how the format was set up. I had a white judge, I had a white prosecutor, the second in the chair was white, my lawyer was white, and all 12 jury members was white. So I'm looking like, and this is a true fact that I always tell everybody, only thing of color in that courtroom was me and the furniture. It was such a lot of mixed emotions about our jury selection because we had 3 jury panels to come in, and their main focus was, do we have any physical evidence to find this guy guilty? And the prosecutor was like, no, only thing we have is this lady word. So they saying we can't find him guilty just on this lady word. They left out, they brought in another group. They said the same thing. They left out, they brought another group. They said the same thing. In the 4th panel that came in, which was so crazy to me, an African-American guy stood up and said, I can find him guilty just on the behalf of what this lady said. Right then, it was others that said, okay, we can also. Since he made the first step, then we saying we can actually do the same thing. But he was never chosen to be on the jury panel. So I'm like, oh man, this is not going good because everybody I want on my jury panel, they scratching out. They scratching like, am I going to, and I was asking my attorney, am I going to get any jurors of my peers on this jury panel? He said, well, I'm going to try like hell, but it's not looking that way. And I didn't have any confidence in the guy. And when you don't have that confidence off the top, you're going to feel like you're going to, you're feeling like you're going to get found guilty, point blank period. That's just how the scenario worked out. When are they going to allow us to bring some in that's going to say that I didn't commit this crime? My alibi was my girlfriend. I was at home with my girlfriend and my 2 kids at the time of the murder. Her testimony was thrown out. They didn't even want to hear her testimony. They deliberated for at least 2 days. My trial lasted maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, capital murder case. So they came out and told me to stand and say, we the jury finds Christopher Scott guilty of capital murder. It was like a punch, like a knockout punch, that I lost vision, I lost hearing. I looked at the judge. She asked me, did I have anything to say? I say, sure. First and foremost, could I hug my family? She said, yes, you're welcome to do that. I hugged my girlfriend, my brother, my sister, and my mom. Told me to be okay. Don't worry about it. I'm going to fight this case. And I turned around to the judge and told her, I said, look, you convicted the wrong guy. I didn't commit this crime. I knew nothing of this crime. But I will tell you this. I will be back. I will fight this case, and I will be exonerated in this same courtroom. As I'm walking out, my co-defendant is walking in. By the time they come get me and take me back to my cell, he was already found guilty. His trial lasted 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Deliberation lasted 6 minutes. Fastest deliberation in Dallas County's history. I got in my bunk. I hadn't cried yet. I was so hurt and stung and surprised that I couldn't shed a tear. I was in a state of shock for 4 or 5 days. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Nervous system was going bad. I was losing hair. So I had to snap out of it and wake up. I said, man, I got to be strong for my kids. I got 2 boys that's 4 and 5 years old that I have to be strong for. 2016, the first African-American DA, Craig Watkins, was elected. He started testing all the DNA cases. The unit I was on was Cofield unit. 18 of the exonerees that was released from 2006 to 2010, we all was on the same unit at the same time. So once he got elected, I started seeing guys get exonerated. So I'm rubbing my hands together like 2 sticks trying to start a campfire. I'm like, things may happen okay for me. I didn't even know things was already kind of rolling. It's this attorney lady named Michelle Moore. When I say she's a bulldog, this is a bulldog. And she was part of 9 exonerations before she did my exoneration. And I told myself, I said, if I can get this lady on my case, I would go free. 2 weeks later, I get a letter from the district attorney's office saying Michelle Moore was my appointed counsel. I let out such a loud roar, hollering scream because I was like, after 13 long years, maybe I'm finna finally get some justice. So a few days later, I had to go take the deposition. He came back. He said, I concur, the district attorney concur, the police station concur, the chief of polygraph concur that you was telling the truth. It's like a 50-ton-pound brick was lifted off of my back. Don't get tunnel vision. First and foremost, don't have tunnel vision. Because a lot of times prosecutors have tunnel vision as where if they feel like they got the right man, they're not going out looking for no one else. And in many instances in these cases, a lot of times you captured the wrong guy off the top. But your tunnel vision and feeling like you have the right individual is not leading you to say, well, it may be another guy here that may have committed this crime because this guy is telling me he didn't commit this crime. And you have cops coming to trial saying, these are the individuals that I'm looking for, like in my case. These are the guys that my informant told me committed this crime. These are the guys that MO fits this crime that was happening, not these 2 guys that's on trial. So once you eliminate tunnel vision from a prosecutor's way of looking at things, the whole system will be a much better place.